Hey, hello, welcome, and we're on visual radio, and you are visualized. And to my right, your left, depending on how you're looking at the camera. If you're upside down, this is Kevin Russo. It's actually his twin brother. Hello, Kevin. We've got some serious talk tonight with Nat Simpkins, guitarist for Bobby Hebb. We're going to call Nat right now, and then Danny Sheridan's doing the demo that got the deal. So we got a lot of fun, and then Frank Delastrito, of course. And Nat was scheduled for last week. One ringy-dingy, Lily Tomlin says.
Hello.
Nat Simpkins.
Yes.
Joe Viglione, welcome to Visual Radio.
Good. Thank you, Joe.
You're on the air.
Great.
Hey, man, it's great to finally talk to you.
Good. It's great to talk to you, too.
You own a record label, right?
Yes, I do. Blue Jay Records.
Blue Jay, nothing to do with Blue Jay Studios.
That's correct.
And what have you released on Blue Jay?
Well, we've released about 12 records. Some of my own, which I recorded in mostly in New York, but some in New Orleans, and also some of the other artists that we have. We have Eric Johnson on guitar. He has a CD called Making Whoopee, and this is the jazz Eric Johnson, not the blues or the rock Eric Johnson.
Yeah, there's a few of them, aren't there?
There are, but this is the guy that played with Jimmy Smith and Groove Holmes and Jack McDuff and stuff. Great, great guitar player.
Jack McDuff, who covered Sonny?
Yes, he did.
The keyboard player.
That's right.
Wow, I got that 45.
Yeah, well, I think Eric covered Sonny also on some of his recordings, too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know. And of course, what we have in common, Nat, is that we both know and we were both friends with the wonderful Bobby Hebb.
That's right.
I'm impressed you've got these records. Did Eric Johnson record Sonny before he got to Blue Jay Records?
Well, he didn't record it for us, but he has recorded it.
Amazing. I have to track that down now.
Yeah. There's another one for you.
So when was the last record you put out for yourself?
For myself, actually, I put some out in 2010. I put out 5 CDs. They were all from one concert that we did at Cecil's in West Orange, New Jersey.
Oh, and you know the fellow that owns the club, right?
Yes, I do, and he's also a partner in Blue Jay Records.
Oh, so that's excellent.
Yes.
When you record in this club, do you bring in sound equipment, or is there equipment already there?
Well, no, we had a guy come in and bring in a whole bunch of sound equipment and set it up, some vintage microphones and mixers and everything. And his name is Tom Tedesco, not to be confused with Tommy Tedesco, the great guitar player.
Tedesco and Pittman from the Phil Spector era.
That's right, yep.
Oh, I was going to say, it perked up my ears right away, Tom Tedesco.
Yeah, and I thought that his dad was Tommy, but he told me not.
Okay. How did you meet Bobby Hebb?
Well, I've been hearing about him, and my friend Michael Price and I decided to go find him. I think he was playing at the Hawthorne Hotel in Salem. This would be about 1980 or the earliest it'd be was maybe 78 or 79. And at that point, he was actually living at the Hawthorne Hotel as well. So I think we actually sat in with him. He was playing in the little lounge there, and we hit it off.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so you started playing with him more?
That's right, that's right. And we always rehearsed. That was very, very important.
Always rehearsed?
Oh, yeah, every week we would rehearse.
So who was in this band?
Well, at that time, it was me, I think Michael Price on keyboard, and I believe Tom Mikowski was playing the bass.
Who called me the other night.
Good, good.
Thank you very much for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
We're playing phone tag now, but you know, at least we're in the pipeline.
Sure, sure.
Tom Mikowski on bass, you on guitar.
No, I was on saxophone.
Saxophone, sorry about that.
That's okay. Bobby was on guitar. And Michael Price was playing keyboards. And I think we had a drummer, but I can't quite remember who that would have been.
And so, how many shows do you think you did with Bobby? You did Sandy's up on the Turnpike?
Yeah, we did say. Well, you're talking about Lenny's on the Turnpike.
Lenny's on the Turnpike. Sorry about that.
Okay. No, we didn't play there. We did. I think we did play at Sandy's, but mostly we played a lot of little joints around here on the North Shore. Bobby was sort of semi-retired at that time, and the funny thing about him was it didn't matter. We could be playing in a little coffee house for 10 people, or we could be on stage in front of 100,000 people, and the quality of the performance was just the same.
Absolutely.
That was that completely blew my mind, actually.
Consummate performer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That really taught me something.
It
and
was
I try to take the same attitude myself.
It's amazing when you play with some of these greats, it rubs off and something carries with you, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It's almost like a musical osmosis.
Sure.
And I'm sure you influence Bobby because no matter who you are, you're influenced by whoever you're playing with in the room.
Oh, yeah, no, that's true. No, he would play off of us. He'd hear something he liked, and that would spark something.
What was a typical set, if you can remember?
Well, I can remember some of the songs we did. Every set varied, every night varied. The way it would work was Bobby would start playing, and he'd play an introduction, and he wouldn't say anything to us, and we would just have to fall in behind him, and we'd be saying, "What's he doing?" But we keep listening, we keep trying, and the song would develop, and throughout the course of the song, it kept developing, and it might not, ever be the same again. The next time we did that song, it would be completely different. So it was quite a challenge. You really had to use your ears, that's for sure.
I taped him in Bridgewater with the Cubato Power Jazz Unit, and he was doing exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
He surprised the musicians.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't tell you what key he was in, or he just wanted you to react to whatever he did. Yeah, it was quite something. It certainly developed your musicianship very quickly.
And you said to me on the phone that he was one of the most musical people, if not the most musical, you've ever met?
Well, here's what I'll say about Bobby Hebb. I've played with some of the greatest musicians of all time, but he was the greatest musician of all time. He was the most talented musician of everyone that I've played with. He had something totally unique. He had a really unique gift, and I never saw the equal of it. And I played with some great musicians. I played with the Count Basie band. I played with I played with people that have played in almost every band. That have played with Charlie Parker, Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington, all. But none of them were on the same footing as Bobby. He was just amazing.
Now, did you play with him at the Johnny D's back in the 90s when Thomas Mikowski played with him?
I probably did.
I have that on video.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to get you and Thomas videos of that then.
Okay. I mean, I'm not sure if I played that particular date or not, but, I might have.
Barrence Whitfield was on stage that night.
Mm-hmm.
In the Savage. He's up there in that record store up there in Salem.
Yes, yeah, I know Barrence very well.
Record Exchange, yeah, great guy.
Yeah, very great guy. Yeah, he's sat in with me a few times.
Oh.
Some gigs, yeah.
Yeah, you're in the same region, and you guys have been on the scene.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, in retrospect, I don't think I was on that date at Johnny D's because I don't remember performing with Barron's at that time.
Yeah, that was Morgan Heuch from WMFO. He lives up in Gloucester. He had put the night together.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a scenester, and Morgan's been around promoting concerts, God, for 5 decades.
Wow.
And he was a good friend of Bobby's, too. Bobby took us both to dinner up in Gloucester one night.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little video footage just of Bobby talking outside of the club because I had the camera with me.
Sure.
I just loved walking around and taping Bobby because to me he's just a real, incredible human being and a very gifted man, as you've said.
Oh yeah.
Nat, we're just very fortunate to have known him.
Yes, we are. Absolutely. Yeah, it changed my whole life when I met him.
So, you've had the record label for how long? When did you establish it?
1998, actually. We put out the first record, and actually we put out 3 records at that time, and
Vinyl, probably, right?
No, that was CD.
Oh, okay.
I did put some stuff out on vinyl, though. I was with a record label called Muse, M-U-S-E, Muse Records, which was a great jazz label. And I did a record. It was my first one, and it was 3 saxophones. It was me as leader with Buddy Tate from the Count Basie Band and Houston Person. So we had 3 generations of saxophone players all playing together.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was. It was great. And we did that at Rudy Van Gelder's studio in Englewood, New Jersey. And that's where they made all the classic Blue Note and Prestige records, Miles Davis and Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. All those were made right there.
It's something being in those rooms, isn't it?
Oh, it sure is. Yep.
In the halls of, it's almost like a sacred hall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was down at Sigma Sound in Philadelphia, and just to know that all those great records came out of there, Joe Tarzia.
Sure.
It's just an amazing feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Because these are the records we hear on the radio.
That's right.
That's just part of it. Musicians know that the ambience of the room and just what they've done to create the sound, it's like being in a wonderful museum.
Oh, yeah. No, I always go with a studio where they already make records rather than trying to, come up from scratch.
The late Jimmy Miller told me to do that, too. He said, you never want to work the bugs out for a studio.
No, not at all.
And he would know. So you like it here in Boston, but you travel to get recordings.
That's right, yeah. Well, the musicians are there and the studios are there. So, luckily, I've had some great friends who helped me produce the records as well. They've been either producers or co-producers of the recordings. Houston Person helped me with the first 2 recordings on the Muse label, and he's personally leader on over 100 record dates.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah. And then Cecil Brooks III, who actually, was Houston's drummer. That's how I met Cecil. He's been on over 300 recordings now. Produced over 300 recordings and played on them. And so, it makes it a lot easier. I can relax and just play the music, and he knows what I'm trying to do. Cecil knows my sound, and he knows what I'm trying to do, and, so most of the time, he's brought the musicians in. I had never even met them before, no rehearsal, and we roll the tape, and 4 hours later, we have a record.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's the way you got to do it.
Well, spontaneity, of course.
Oh yeah, it has to be that way.
Now, did you ever meet Pretty Purdy?
Yes, I did. He played with Houston quite a bit.
He did.
Oh yeah, they're on a lot of records together. Yep. It was there were some records with Bernard Purdy and Melvin Sparks on guitar, who was from Texas. He was another one of those guys in that same league. And trying to think who else.
Well, Purdy was playing the House of Blues when it was in Cambridge.
Yep.
So I called Bobby up and I said, you know, Pretty Purdy's in town. Let's go see him.
Mm-hmm.
And I reunited Bobby with Bernard.
Sure.
Because I knew Bernard from New York. The late Jimmy Miller, the Stones producer, introduced me to Bernard with Mick Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Mick Taylor band, he was playing with him. He played with everyone, of course.
Oh yeah.
And then Bobby and Bernard went off to New York and cut an album.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be in the box set that we're working on.
Oh, that's great. I haven't heard of that. I hadn't heard about that one.
Yeah, so it's A Natural Man they recorded, and other tunes. It's just really great. I mean, you got Bernard and Bobby together, you know?
Yeah. You know, I believe that I was at a gig at Scullers. It was Houston Person with Bernard Purdy and Melvin Sparks. I forget who else was playing in the band, but so it's all the same circle, that's for sure.
Were you in the group or were you in the audience?
No, I was in the audience.
Scullers.
Yep.
Now, did you and Bobby go and hang and go see some groups sometimes?
Yeah, we did. We did a lot more playing than hanging, though.
Yeah. Well, we spoke on the phone earlier. You know, it's 8:17 right now. A couple more minutes. I know that, you know, you've got a lot to do right now, but I'd love to have you back on, even in person, if we can ever arrange that.
Sure. Well, you know, I'll definitely do some more. Sounds good to me.
Great. Well, thanks so much for being on Visual Radio tonight, Nat.
Oh, you're welcome, Joe. Thank you.
Okay, man.
Looking forward to the next one.
Yes, me too.
All right. Thank you so much. Yep.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Well, that was great, huh?
Yeah. So how did you meet him?
I never met Nat. My friend Bobby Hebb wrote the song Sunny, and
Yeah.
he kept telling me, get in touch with Nat Simpkins. And it wasn't until Bobby died August 3rd of 2010, last year,
Oh, that stinks.
that I had to get in touch with everyone up here and say, you know, Bobby's gone. And Nat and I finally are talking, but as we're putting a book together on Bobby's life, just hearing these great stories, and now I'll go home and type stuff up and email him.
Sorry for the loss.
Oh, it's a tremendous loss. Thank you,
Sorry.
because,
Sorry about that if anybody's watching. Sorry about that.
you know, when you lose a very close friend, and I lost two last year. I lost Marty Ballin's wife, Karen Deal.
Yeah.
So Karen's best friend just emailed me. I'm going to probably talk to her after I go to the gym tonight. But Kevin, thank you. It's so good to have you back on Visual Radio. So
Yeah.
you like the show?
I like it.
We talked to so many different
I know. It's
wonderful people, from Anthony DeCurtis, we spoke to a couple of weeks ago, and next week, I'm very excited, Arthur Lenig. They sent me this book 5 years ago. The book is The Count, as in Count Dracula. Did you see what I put on the web? You don't see the YouTubes. I did
No,
not.
I do.
Oh,
I
did you
watched
see?
that, yeah.
I am Dracula. So I watched the whole movie on YouTube, and the phone will ring any minute. We have 3 guests tonight, and phone's going to ring any second with my friend Danny. And